Have you ever noticed someone who never posts pictures online? No selfies, no birthdays, no vacations, nothing at all. In a world where everyone broadcasts every moment of their lives, where likes and comments feel like validation, where every meal, every trip, every small win is photographed. Yet they remain invisible. Not because they are shy, not because they lack confidence, but because they choose a different path, a quieter path. A life lived for themselves and not for an audience. A life where privacy is their shield and self-respect their armor. Where they know attention is fleeting, but inner peace is forever. Where they don't need approval from strangers to feel worthy. Where self-validation carries more weight than digital applause. Where their confidence comes from within, steady and unshakable. Not measured by likes or comments, not judged by followers or shares, but by the strength of their own sense of self. A self that is clear, defined, and rooted in values, in purpose, in meaning. A self that does not bend to trends, does not chase comparison, does not seek applause, because they already know who they are and what matters most in life. They have self-concept clarity, knowing their identity without mirrors, knowing their worth without reflection, understanding their desires and boundaries without needing the world to confirm them, living fully in the present rather than performing for the digital eye, letting moments exist instead of capturing them, letting experiences shape them instead of selfies or posts, letting their happiness flow inward rather than seeking it from a screen. Grounded in emotional security, in a confidence that is quiet but powerful, in self-esteem that does not require evidence, in a stability that makes them less anxious, less reactive, less tethered to the pressures of the online world, more focused on growth, connection, and authenticity, more connected to life itself than to notifications or streaks, more aware of the mental toll that constant comparison brings, more selective in how they share themselves, more intentional in their every action, speaking only when it matters, thinking deeply before expressing, living consciously rather than performing superficially. Their quietness gives them a magnetic presence, because when they do speak or share, it carries real weight. They observe, think, and experience life deeply, rather than performing it for an online audience. Their patience and intentionality make them appear wise and grounded in ways that most social media users rarely achieve. They understand the digital illusion, the curated highlight reels, the filtered realities, the endless parade of perfection that never truly exists. They know social comparison theory by instinct, seeing how it traps most people in cycles of inadequacy and distraction. And they choose instead to step back, to protect their mental space, to choose peace over performance, authenticity over applause, substance over superficiality, reality over illusion, understanding that their self-worth cannot be measured by the projection of others' lives, that their value is internal, steady, and immune to the fluctuations of attention, that they are not invisible because they hide, but visible in their quiet strength, grounded in awareness, emotionally intelligent, self-sufficient, self-aware, choosing the richness of experience over the emptiness of display. And the misconception is everywhere that they must be shy, antisocial, disconnected, uninteresting. Yet the truth is the opposite. They often have rich relationships, deep friendships, meaningful connections, vibrant real-world lives, engaged minds, curious spirits, thoughtful hearts, leadership, creativity, insight, presence, charisma, all without needing to broadcast it, all without the digital mirror, living deliberately, interacting authentically, observing thoughtfully, listening more than speaking, sharing less but meaning more, moving through life fully present while others capture the performance, acting in reality rather than posting it online, experiencing instead of showing, feeling instead of curating, breathing instead of pretending, growing inwardly while the world chases ephemeral attention. The paradox is profound. The less they post, the more authentic they appear, the more intriguing, the more magnetic. Because confidence does not shout. It does not need witnesses. It does not rely on validation. It exists quietly, internally, firmly, unshakably, resilient against external judgment, thriving in silence, choosing substance over spectacle, choosing depth over distraction, choosing life lived rather than life displayed, making present stronger, understanding value deeper, embracing meaning richer, protecting what matters more, relationships, achievements, personal growth, mental health, self-respect, understanding that the most significant things flourish in privacy, in intentionality, in the absence of constant performance, in the freedom to exist without constantly being seen, heard, or approved, in the clarity of living by one's own standards, in the wisdom of choosing inner peace over public applause, in the quiet power of authenticity. Ultimately, they know being seen online is not the same as being seen in real life, that attention is fleeting, that likes do not equal love, that comments do not equal connection, that followers do not equal value, that happiness cannot be measured by metrics, that confidence cannot be measured by posts, that success does not need a spotlight, that self-worth is internal, grounded, and enduring, that the quiet ones often carry more clarity, more insight, more emotional intelligence, more strength than those shouting for attention in the endless digital noise, that the invisible ones are often the strongest, the wisest, the most grounded, the most self-aware, the most alive, quietly living life with intention, fully present, authentically themselves, confidently independent, deeply thoughtful, emotionally secure, wisely protective, and profoundly human. So next time you notice someone who doesn't post photos, don't assume they are shy, antisocial, or disconnected. Understand that they may be living a fuller, richer, more intentional life than anyone scrolling past them online. They do not need to be seen to feel seen. They do not need approval to feel worthy. They do not need attention to feel alive. They are confident without performance, self-aware without affirmation, grounded without display, emotionally intelligent without recognition, quietly demonstrating the deepest form of strength, the truest form of confidence, the kind of confidence that does not announce itself because it simply exists, unwavering, silent, human, real, and profoundly powerful.